We're all about sharing the facts and teaching the tricks. Let's talk all things about music, the life of music. Let's engage about the rhythm. Let's talk about our passion for melodies, sound, and those beautiful classics. Let's get educated about these decibels we oh so dearly love. On this podcast, we talk about these politics. Welcome to Music Politricks. Sambonani dumelang ke re exe na kalina ke nna busi baba khulu baba dese ba re ke the queen of Pitori, and welcome to Music Politricks. We talk about all those things that you've sort of heard about in the music space, and we sit here and we talk about it so that you can get to know a little bit more and we can actually be more cognizant of what's going down in the music space. Music Politricks, we are sharing the facts and teaching the tricks. Today, we've got Red Garden, who's a ghost producer. And I'm so happy. Ghost itlile now rawona.
Like I don't want to be exactly.
Thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure, hey.
Red Garden, like, aren't gardens normally red roses, green grass, colorful more than a red garden?
No, for me it's like I love roses, I think. That's why, specifically red roses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
that's
That's where the name comes from?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. And it's nice that you've got a name as a ghost producer.
Yeah, but it's never there.
Yeah. So
I'm just joking.
The reality is, before we even get into you being the ghost producer, right?
Yeah.
Let's start a little bit about how you got into the world of production, and who actually taught you how to produce music. Where did you learn how to produce?
YouTube, eh? Yeah, I think that's like the biggest university right now.
Yeah.
So I've been doing music ever since I was like 8, 9. But basically it was like instruments like piano, gospel, but like my first influence was like gospel music, things like that. Obviously church. So yeah. And then high school, that's when I started getting into like as I grew up, I started loving R&B more. So I moved from like piano to guitar, and then I also included drums. And so, Boma grade 10, that's when I started like I want to make music. Not like producing as such, but like music in general, like be an artist, producer, whatever.
Like holistically.
Yeah, holistically, yeah. So that's when I started getting to like, I need to learn how to produce. And I went to YouTube for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, did you learn from YouTube in terms of what to do thereafter and how to take it professionally? Because, I mean, you are quite a serious ghost producer.
Yeah, from YouTube, I think I just first started learning like your basics, like your DAWs, or like I think Fruit Loops. I was into like both Fruit Loops, Cubase and stuff.
DAW, what is DAW?
Oh, it's a digital audio workstation, which is what you use to make like before these things came by, like the producers, both Dr. J and stuff.
Sure.
They would have like this big like desks to produce, like with a DAW, go and like a laptop, you get the same output.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So even with the business aspect, I don't know, like algorithm basically. Like once you do a certain thing, they pitch you like whatever. You're like, oh, I can sell music. And then like, okay, now you're interested, like how can I actually sell my beats without needing to like force myself in the industry whereby I could talk or shake hands of like big artists, because it was like the norm back in the day.
Sure.
But like now, without even knowing a big artist personally, they can have like your beats.
And I guess the internet has made the world quite small.
Exactly.
Gee, that's very cool. Now, tell us more about how you establish yourself as a ghost producer. So now you learn how you can sell beats, right?
Yeah.
And then what's the next step? Like, are there platforms where you go onto where you can sell beats, or do you need to find someone's email address? How does it all work?
Like the start, YouTube.
Okay.
Like YouTube, there's this thing about beats like they call them type beats. So you like a lot of artists, like some of the biggest songs that we have like now in this day and age actually come from YouTube type beats.
Okay.
Like you find like there's that song Mooney Long, Hours and Hours.
Okay.
There was like a beat that was just on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
So like I even heard it like years ago, that beat. And then like when that song dropped, I'm like, wait, I know this beat. You get me?
That's
So
very
like you basically start from like YouTube, you upload your beats on YouTube. And then the networking starts from there. And then there's like BeatStars, which is like a website where you can upload your beats. And then from there, you can use them as like a third-party backend to make your like your own website, like your own separate thing. But I would say the biggest thing is networking. So if like you make good stuff, other producers reach out to you.
Okay.
And for me, that's how I started getting into like ghost producing in a way. From other producers, be like, yo, I like your sound, wada wada. I'd like for you to complete beats for me or send me loops and stuff like that.
Okay. And we've always seen that thing, okay, a song becomes a smash hit, right?
Yeah.
And then a producer comes in the midst of it and is like, hey, that's my beat. They stole my beat, you know?
Yeah.
So what is the process of, sort of registering your beat or ensuring that it still belongs to you prior to you selling it or giving it away to someone?
That's tricky. Cause like, okay, basically, let's say you made a beat.
Yeah.
You can either do it like most distributors offer, even like publishing and stuff like that. They offer like as an extra service. So you can pay extra to have like them publish your beat and stuff and pitch it to like playlists and whatever. But copywriting is like still like, in this day and age, copywriting is simple. If I have the files, it's copywritten. It's not like legally copywritten, but just for the fact that I have the files, they are dated and stuff, it's copywritten.
Okay.
But you can take it a step further, more like performance rights organizations and things like that, and through Sambro and stuff and Risa, yeah, you can do that, but it's not really a must.
Okay, so as a ghost producer, you can still go to Risa and register your music.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can still.
And then at which point do you then let go? Okay, someone then comes to you like, hey, shapa number,
Yeah.
and they want your beats, they want your work. So at which point do you then let go and sort of transfer, for lack of a better term? Okay, this no longer belongs to me, it belongs to someone else.
So how it works with me, like people operate differently.
Yeah.
How it works with me and some of the people in my community, it's like, if somebody sends me a loop, like, yo, I have this loop and I think your drums would be good on it. I'd complete the beat, send it to them. So they can either do like a 50-50 split. Okay. Whatever profits they make, I get 50% of that. That's how it works most of the time. Even if they pay me beforehand, but that's how it works most of the time.
So how do 50-50? You still showing the credits of the song? You still sort of recognized in part of the team?
It depends. Sometimes like the producers, they don't credit you. Like especially if like let's say I give it to you. I'm the producer, the front end producer, and I give it to you. Like it's tricky, especially with labels. Like you don't know like what's gonna happen in the front.
I hear you.
Yeah, because sometimes like with labels, they might give that artist like a very, very small percentage of the record, and they might be like, you know what, dude, can I just pay you once off because I don't know how much I'm gonna get, and what? Because the process with labels is gonna be like long, and I might not get paid.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah. So if they send me a loop, it's cool. They can just pay me upfront, whatever, and I send them a complete beat. They credit me or not, it's up to them.
Okay. Yeah. And now, producers who've done music for DJ Khaled, Summer Walker. I mean, like the list goes on.
Yeah.
How do you get into those kind of spaces and meet up with those kind of producers? Because, geez.
It's networking, like essentially it's networking.
Yeah.
Like if you make good stuff and people like your stuff, people reach out to you. Like, yo, this and this and this and this and this. Like one producer who I know who is on DJ Khaled's album, like I know he's a super good producer. He can make like good loops.
Yeah.
But in terms of drums, he's like, and so he'd be like, yo, dude, I think he'd reach out like, he's like loops, make some drums to that and whatever, like I can send it out for placement. Things like that.
Okay, so there's also options for collaborations as ghost producers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, how does that work? Okay, so one producer says, okay, now I'm good, kick or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they want you for the drums.
Yeah.
And then now, how does that influence who owns what? How does it influence the split?
It's always a 50-50 split. Majority of the time, it's a 50-50 split.
Okay, so now you're producing stuff for you do stuff for an artist in California, for instance, right? Now tell us the journey of getting stuff sorted in South Africa, and then still, because I mean it's in California now, your music, how do you then sort of negotiate that when it gets to other parts of the world?
It's the same. Like, I made the beat, I send it to you, pay me an upfront fee. For the beat, you pay me an upfront. And then on the record, there's like two sides of the record. There's the writing part, and there's then the back end, which is like the composition, which is like basically the beat. So let's say I made 100% of the beat. So that means I own 100% of the composition. But when it comes to the full song, it's you on the front end, the voice, the lyrics, whatever, me with the beat. And so what happens, it's a 50-50 split. Just
Okay. And have you ever been in a situation where, like, you're minding your own business, and then you hear your beats and you're just like, nah, but that's my work. It's basically sort of stolen, for lack of a better term. What happens in situations like that?
I don't know. I don't think I've been in that situation specifically where, like, I hear my beat stolen. But I've been in a situation where I've had a beat, like my beat, on an artist who was popping, but he bought it. But I just didn't know it was him.
So how did you not know that it would end up there? Because
it's the same thing. Like, there's a producer that I work with. He lives, I think, in Louisville. It's just in the States. I frequently work with him. So we made a beat, a pop beat, pop. So, and then it was a 50-50. So, like, it was bought from him, not from me. But I still got paid.
I see.
So I didn't know who it went to. Until
the moment of truth.
Yeah. So I was on Instagram. There was this big song on Instagram. It was big. It's called Your Step. It was big. So for months I've been listening to that song. And then I was like, one time, I'm like, let me check this artist out. Because he's a big artist. I check his catalog. I listen to the songs. I'm like, wait, one of the songs there, it's my beat.
Jeez.
I'm like, what the hell? That's when I knew. I'm like, okay. It's going the right direction.
So contracts, what are the contracts that you guys signed? Because you guys are not necessarily on the front of it. I mean, are there NDAs? Are you allowed to say, yeah, and I've produced for Mangma, you know? Well, what are the intricacies where that's concerned?
Regarding that part, for me, I don't know. I've never had to encounter those parts of it. I can't really say that I've produced. I've never really, because with me, as I said, like, I'm often like a third-party producer. You understand? So I'm not like a ghost whereby, like, I'm like, you're not gonna be credited. I'm like a ghost in a sense whereby I just do like what I do, and I just push the beat to whoever, and they will get it to the people there. And if they credit me or not, it's up to them. So I cannot say the contracts front end, but like with me, usually like the website that I use, they'll have like automated contracts.
Okay, cool. And what is on the automated contract?
It's basically like you don't need to credit me, but I need to get like my share of like the publishing. You don't need to credit me as such about it's made by so and so or edit like produced by who and who. But in the back end, I must be paid.
Mara, you say you realized Eurostep, right? Sorry, no man, that's my beat.
No, not the Eurostep song, but one of his songs.
Okay. Did you get paid?
Yeah, I did get paid.
Okay.
It's like,
but you just didn't know he's the artist.
Exactly.
I see. That's very interesting.
So even for the song that I produced for him, I don't think I'm credited.
And you don't mind?
And I don't mind, but I was paid for that song.
And royalties?
Yes, I do get royalties for that song.
How's the check like?
It depends. I guess it depends on the scale of the artist. So by then, when we made the song for him, he was not that big. Because like then Eurostep came in, that was the song that made him blow up.
Sure.
And then after then, obviously people checked out his other music and stuff. So like, yeah, it depends on the scale of the artist. Like working with him now, it's not going to be the same as working with him then. Okay. Working with him now, it's like the check is bigger. So like if I get a placement with him now, he's going to pay me more upfront.
I see.
And even the publishing is going to be more.
Today's price is not yesterday's price.
Exactly.
Kind of a thing. All right. And now, in terms of you, Red Garden, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you want to be known? Why do you want to stay a ghost? Like, I mean, you produce such a variety of different kinds of music. R&B, hip-hop, the list is endless. So why don't you want to be known?
I don't like, not that I'd prefer like industry people knowing me as a producer, but not like the public knowing me as a producer for branding purposes. You understand?
What do you mean branding purposes?
So I do music myself. So I wouldn't want like the next person to, oh, it's a guy who makes beats. I want them to see me as, oh, it's an artist.
What's the difference? Because I mean, when you are a producer, essentially you are an artist of some form, right?
It's like in terms of branding and with opportunities, it's different. If you see me as a producer, you want to work with me, you come to me with that mindset like I'm just gonna make beats for you and stuff. And but if you recognize me as an artist, you'd want me in your song, perhaps.
Okay, and credited for being a producer.
Yeah.
Okay, so essentially you do want to get to a point where you are making music and you are getting all full credit for the work that you're doing.
Yes, essentially. But I don't want it at the beginning. I don't want my face to be a producer face, because like I don't know if you watched the documentary of Kanye.
Sure, I watched a few episodes. Yeah,
like he was a big producer.
Yep.
And when it came to transition from a producer to an artist. It was very, very tough. Because even though he knew Jay-Z, but Jay-Z knew him as a producer.
Yeah.
Even he could sit in the same studio, just him and Jay-Z.
Yeah.
It was like, he's my producer. This guy's my producer.
Sure.
You understand?
Sure.
So it was hard for him to get a shot as an artist.
I see. So at one point,
Exactly.
so some bars.
Yes.
So you can rap.
Yes.
Can you sing?
A bit. I haven't sang in a while, so like it's like one of those instruments you need to practice. If you don't practice, it's chai.
Okay. So as more on the microphone, someone who wants to be on the microphone, what kind of direction do you want to go, seeing as you make such a variety as a producer? I mean, let's say your first song as an artist. Where do you see yourself fitting in?
Like I do hip hop. I'm more into hip hop and R&B. But I think I love R&B more. But that's going to be like a later on transition.
Okay.
Yeah, but like mostly hip hop, yeah.
Okay, that's very, very interesting. And going forward, when do you see yourself starting as a producer? As an artist? Are there any artists or producers that you'd actually like to work with locally and internationally, seeing as we're not only international?
Like locally as a producer?
As a producer and an artist.
Let me just start as a producer, because some people I'd like to work with them just production, not as like beyond the song and stuff, because like for difference it's like, you understand?
Sure.
Yeah, but let's just say production, I'd love to produce for Elaine, because I make like alternative R&B beats too. So I think like I could make some really cool stuff. Like we could produce some like really cool joints with her. And Tyler too. Nice. The chick, not ICU. Sure. Tyler. Oh, yeah. Because like, although like she has like a very unique style, which is like pop, but like it's like at the same time piano.
Yeah.
But I also feel like she could do like some really great stuff for like R&B, because she has like super sick vocals. Because like I knew her since like before she popped off. I used to follow her like when she was still in high school.
Yeah.
And she used to do like covers on Instagram.
Sure.
And I don't know if did I hit her up, DM her, or did I comment something on her about like working with her like back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also Nasty C. I would like to, because I think like Nasty C is very creative and he's not like narrow-minded. He tells like, I'm a rapper, this. Like he would like explore different sounds. So I think with Nasty C, like I would really like to work with him.
Nice. So what I'm getting from that is, because Nasty C is someone who, he's rapped on an R&B beat.
Exactly.
To understand, he's also rapped on a very hardcore hip-hop beat, you know. Tyler, it's pop, but in a little drum, you know. So it's such a wide variety of things that you've actually put up. But now let's talk about you as an artist.
Yeah.
Is the range still the same if you're gonna say that you wanna rap on something?
As an artist, an SA, Nasty C, definitely.
So let's talk about you as the artist, you as the rapper. Let's say now you're gonna start rapping.
Yeah.
Where are you going to now fall?
In terms of like?
In terms of you as a rapper.
What do you mean?
I get it. You said you also in the long run you also want to establish yourself as an artist, you know. And the one thing you would do is to rap.
Yeah.
So as a rapper, where do you see yourself sort of fitting in, because I mean, there's also artists who are rappers. Like Young Stunner comes from a hip hop background, he can rap on a piano beat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Nasty C is a hardcore rapper. He raps on R&B, he raps on hardcore rap beats and hip hop beats.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself fitting in as a rapper?
Like Nasty C. I'm not like confined like like old school rappers whereby they want to be only on boom bap. I see boom bap, I say rap.
Sure.
Yeah, and like commercial rap, that's what I love. Like commercial, like Nasty C vibes, Drake vibes, Kendrick Lamar vibes. Whereby it's like it's rap, but it's not like they call it like contemporary rap.
Sure.
Whereby it's like versatile.
Yeah.
Not necessarily I need to be hard all the time or soft. It can be like a mixture in the same song. I can be like hard and smooth in the same song.
Yeah.
Like that.
Nice. Variety. Range, darling. Range. I absolutely love it. Now, let's say someone is actually listening to this conversation, and they're like, ish, and I happy be like, I'm a producer, but I need a step into sort of breaking out and experimenting in terms of getting my beats out there to artists, What would you say is the first thing they should do?
First thing, before like even getting yourself out to artists, I'd say like one of the most important things, like focus on like becoming good. Because like you might like close doors for yourself if like you're not that good at the beginning and you send like stuff to people and they like the next when you're good and you send stuff to them, like they won't even open it. Yeah, you get, like focus on getting good. Then once you're good, that's when you can start like I'd say YouTube.
Okay.
From then, like reach out to like small YouTube producers. You might find that like they in the same networks as big. Like for me, my YouTube channel is very small. It's very small because I don't really focus on that. Like I focus like sending emails to emails out to artists. Yeah. Like more, I don't know, personal and stuff like that. Yeah. So like if you look at my YouTube, you might say like, okay, this guy's man. But then the networks that I'm in. You get me?
Yeah, but for some walk.
The producers that I know and stuff like that, it's like you. So like even if like you just put your stuff on YouTube and reach out to like small producers, you never know. Like producers and the surprising thing is that producers, what I've noticed, like most producers, like they actually small or like on social media.
Yeah,
I've seen producers with like 100 followers on Instagram. Yet this guy produces for like Joyner Lucas.
Sure.
Like really big artists in the States, you understand? So like just reach out to small producers and you never know who they know.
Okay. Yeah. And you said the first thing they should do is like they must make sure that they become good.
Yeah.
So when do you know how now you have passed that bridge of now I'm really good? Like how do you feel it? How do you know? What do you hear?
I don't like you can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell, but like I'm not saying like you must be good to me. Like what's good to you might not be good to me.
Sure.
Because like me for sound differences and stuff like that. But like as soon as like you can tell when you've grown as a person, like if you listen to the first beat you've made and probably like the 50th or the 100th beat that you made, you can tell like yes, it's difference.
Okay.
And sometimes like just putting it out. If you put it like you put it out on YouTube. Stuff like people will let you know like okay this is nice, or people will even reach out to you like you make like really nice stuff.
Okay, all right, well shout out to you, man. Mr. Red Garden. So if someone actually wants to check out your beats, because obviously the platforms and stuff like that and your beats are there, where does someone actually check out your stuff?
On YouTube, but I don't upload much on YouTube. As I said, I mostly work with people personally. But you can check out my website, which is like redgardenbeats at beatstars.com. Yeah.
Okay. All right. No, shout out. And then is there any advice for someone that actually wants to jump over as well, from being a ghost to actually now they want to be in the front, they want to be known.
Yeah.
What would you say to someone like that? Or what advice?
Put your face. Don't be me. Yeah, don't be me. Put your face out there. Like you can do like if you want to be known, obviously into like as I said, like people overlook this, but this is very important. Networking. Like you can be like super really good. Like I know people like really good at what they do, but just for the fact they don't know people, then they're just not in the front end.
I hear you.
So like if you're really good at what you do, network, like guys, email people. You can email people, because if you're small, like you cannot just be small and be big the next day.
Yeah.
You have to, like, there's one quote that I like, it says, before you are the king, you need to be a servant. You understand?
100%.
So hit up bigger producers than you, send them like loops that you've made. They like you, they can invite you to sessions and stuff. You know, like I had a guy who wanted to fly me to Louisiana.
Oh, nice.
To come, like the guy that I say I constantly work with, just because he likes my stuff. Like from then you make connections, and then you are in the front, and you can be like the next Metro Booming or something like that.
Did you go?
I didn't.
Why?
No, because I had like other stuff, but we still worked either way.
Okay.
Because like we talk all the time.
Okay.
We still worked.
enough.
Yeah.
Hey, go. DJ Khalid. But look, man, thank you so much for teaching us some of the tricks.
Yeah.
You know, and sharing some of the facts where ghost producing is concerned.
Yeah.
By the way, have you produced for anybody in South Africa?
I've never.
Okay.
Like never.
Do you plan to?
Yeah, as I said, out like with like Elaine.
Okay.
I don't know.
Nice
I don't
to
know.
see as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think I just need to be in the network. Yakai.
Okay.
If I wanna work with artists this side, yeah.
Okay, who's your favorite producer in Zanzibar?
Yeah, I don't know, hey. I would say Coffee.
Okay.
I know you'd probably think that I'm gonna mention some hip hop guy, but Coffee, because of how the growth Coffee, like he went from like a guy from SA to producing like a full album for Drake.
Yeah.
You know, and his sound is distinct. I remember like when Honestly Nevermind dropped, I listened to that album. I'm like, there's no way this is not Black Coffee. Like I just instantly knew that this is Black Coffee's production. Nobody produces like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I went to the credits and it said Black executive producer Black Coffee. I'm like,
yeah. well.
You get me. So like I'd say in SA it's definitely Black Coffee. Like not even from like just the music alone, just from the how he carried his career and built his career, I'd say so.
He's got a sound. There's a distinct thing where it is Black Coffee, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Why is that important as a producer?
If you want to stand out, yeah. Because even in hip hop, like in hip hop, I can listen to beats and know this is like 808 Mafia. Somebody from 808 Mafia produced this beat because of how they make their drums, like crazy drums, you know. So if you want to stand out and be big, like you can't just make a beat that somebody can make.
Sure.
You know, like if like I'm in SA, for example, if I just made like similar sound to every artist, I mean every producer in the US, I don't think like producers from the US would reach out.
I hear
They probably reach out because they like something about like how it might be like the way I mix my beats, it might be the way I make my beats hit hard, whatever the case. There's just something that they like about it. Understand?
What is the impact of social media on being a ghost producer or being a producer at large?
Like in terms of like going big.
In terms of going big, in terms of, as you said, networking, in terms of getting to know other people.
Like it's very, I think it's like very huge. It's like the most important thing. Social media. Because like if most producers that I know, like even the guy who produced for DJ Khaled, it was like through his YouTube videos.
Sure.
You know? And then I found out that, he actually like he's looking for guys that can jump on a group with him, like a community. And then I joined this community.
Nice.
Like that. Like so social media definitely.
Okay.
It's like the biggest thing.
Nice one, man. One day you're going to be like a Grammy award-winning producer.
That's what I'm looking to do, hey.
Shout out.
That's what I'm looking to achieve.
Thank you so much for joining us, Red Garden. Keep shining, keep doing what you do. And thank you for sharing and teaching some of the tricks.
Yeah. And if people want to check me out, you can, I know it's Red Garden, but on Instagram, it's The Real Rasul. As I said, I do music. So you can check me out there. You can reach out to me. It doesn't need to be music. If you want beats, you can find me there. But yeah.
Shout out to the one and only Red Garden. Thank you so much for tuning into Music Politricks. You know how we do, Maiskat. Teaching you some of the tricks and, of course, stating all the facts that come to do with ghost producing, I guess. But to see you next time, I got Gat. Na kalina again na wusi. Baba kulu baba desa. Barke the queen of Pitori.
It's a copy rara.
Why easy?